My brother and his wife have been trying to get pregnant, but unfortunately she's had 6 miscarriages. That sucks, I know, I'm not discounting that at all. That being said, she's a center of attention kind of person. She will shit talk other people all day long and try to make herself look like the best person in the room. If anyone else gets attention, she tries to take it away from them, usually by putting them down verbally, or by getting another dog or cat. Most of the animals she has were obtained right after other people she knew got pregnant. Well, wife and I got pregnant, discussed at length with how we should approach this. Keeping my sister-in-law in mind was the main topic of conversation. We didn't want to upset her, but we also didn't feel like it was right to let her dictate our actions and make it impossible to celebrate the life that we're creating. So we made T-shirts, announcing the pregnancy. Not gloating it, just announcing it. Christmas time, we come over to my mom's place, do present exchange, then change shirts. My mother was very happy, but I could see the look on my sister-in-law's face, upset. She didn't say anything and just shut herself in the bathroom, then left early later on in the day. Next day she sends this message to my wife. To say I'm disappointed is an understatement. We have had conversations about how hard infertility is during the holidays, and how hard/debilitating it is. Bro, and I have lost 6 babies. 6. We have 6 dead children, wife. Springing you're pregnant on, bro, and I like that was uncalled for and completely ruined not only mine, but, bro, Christmas. You could have sent me a heads-up text about this, so we had time to process this. And if your excuse is, oh, I didn't want it to ruin the surprise for mom, you're wrong. It's a completely invalid fear. Because I would never ruin a surprise like that. Not only that, but you also saw how that affected me, and you wouldn't stop talking about it. You're excited, sure. But read the room, wife. I can't tell you how much that damaged our relationship, and honestly, I don't know how many holidays I'm going to be there for now because of what you did. What you did was completely selfish and careless. It showed me you really don't care about me. And honestly, had we gotten a heads-up text, I'd be happy for you. But right now, I'm not. You both ruined Christmas for us. Ick, why you thought that was such a good idea. You also had an entire hour to do it before we got there. I had to leave early because I couldn't stand being there for another minute in a house that I didn't feel loved in. The only time we talked about it was when my family was asking questions, due date, gender, etc. It's not like we were talking about it throughout the day. Am I the asshole, are we the assholes, for having decided to do the pregnancy announcement anyways? For the last couple of years I avoided spending Christmas with my family because I have a bad relationship with my brother and my parents defend him when he says some pretty awful things, and we've had small Christmases because of the pandemic. But this year we were going to my grandparents' place and there would be lots of family there, so I thought it would be easier to just avoid my brother, and there would be more people who might be annoyed at my brother if he decided to be a jerk, so he might not. But like every time my brother decided to get drunk and make fun of me for my weight. He has this joke where he pulls food away from me at dinner when I'm about to take some and he says I don't need it because I'm fat, or says I should go jog a lap around the house to earn it. He did it multiple times, and every time I told him he needed to stop acting like a jerk. Like always, my parents ignored him, but so did everyone else except my uncle, who laughed at me with my brother. I told my uncle to stop laughing because it encourages him, but he didn't. I ended up leaving halfway through dinner and taking all the presents I'd brought with me. I didn't make a fuss, I just picked up my bags and left because we hadn't done presents yet and they were all still together in my bags. Later, multiple family members told me I was being childish and trying to ruin Christmas for everyone by walking out and taking the presents. They said I brought the whole mood down for the rest of the night and everyone had a bad time because of me, even though a few of them agreed my brother was being a jerk. They said they didn't do anything wrong and I punished them for no reason. I think that sitting around and not saying anything when he was making fun of me was wrong, and I feel like if they weren't even willing to say a single thing against him or standing up for me, they don't deserve to get gifts from me. Also, I think it's a bit of an overreaction to say I ruined Christmas just because I quietly walked out and because they all got one or two less presents than they would have. My family is Vietnamese and our parents were typical Viet parents. They immigrated to the US and the entire time we were growing up, they emphasized the importance of education. They pushed us hard and extracurricular activities that didn't boost or chance of getting into college were not allowed. I hated seeing my friends join the cheerleading squad while I had to be in band. My friends were able to go to school dances while I had to go to tutoring. I resented my parents for many years and told them so. Their answer were always the same: hate us all you want now but thank us later. I'm now a surgeon and all my siblings have high-paying careers. The siblings with the lowest salary makes almost $160,000 a year as a supervising pharmacist in a hospital. We're all living very well and are very happy with our lives. Now that I'm a mother, I can admit that my parents were right. My sister, an attorney, is married to Bill. He's not Asian and works as a chef at a restaurant. Unlike movies or cooking shows, he's only making about $50,000 a year while his wife is pulling in about $500,000 as a partner in her firm. Over Christmas we were gathered at my parents' and I was asked by my niece, my brother's daughter, about my career. Her parents are pushing her into the medical field and she wanted to know what it takes. During our conversation, she said she wants to be a teacher and not a doctor. She told me she feels pressured into studying too much and can't enjoy life like her friends. I pointed out that I went through the exact same thing and teaching won't give her the life she's accustomed. I said if she's a doctor, she can always teach on the side. I told her about a colleague who's also a physician and volunteers to teach in his old high school. Brother-in-law overheard us and chimed in about how she should follow her dream of teaching because money does not equal happiness. He pointed out that he makes as much as a teacher and lives a great life. I didn't appreciate his nosiness, so I replied that he has a great life because my sister makes 10x his salary and bought him his brand new $125,000 electric car for Christmas. I turned to my niece and told her unless she wants to live off of someone, she needs to make her own money. Brother-in-law got his feelings hurt and went to complain to my sister. She told me I was wrong to say that to brother-in-law and that I should apologize. I'm refusing since I only stated the truth, but now they're refusing to come to my house for Viet New Year. I'm hosting the entire family, unless I apologize. My girlfriend and I have been together for almost 6 months now. As she lives across the country from her parents and couldn't do the travel this year, she was invited to come to my family Christmas instead. She has met my parents, but it was her first time meeting most of my extended family. A couple of days before Christmas, we woke up to find her pet hamster had died in the night. She was really upset about it. It was a year old, which I think is a pretty normal life for a hamster. She cried and didn't feel like doing anything for the whole day, which was fine. We even had a little funeral for it and buried it in our backyard. Come Christmas morning, my GF is still sad, doesn't want to wake up and have breakfast together or open presents. She said she couldn't enjoy it as she'd bought presents for her hamster and it was making her too sad. I told her I could take her to the store and she could pick out a new hamster as a present to cheer her up. She got extremely upset at this suggestion and started bawling, telling me I was being heartless. It wasn't something she could just replace. I started to get pissed off because at this point it had been 2 full days of this, and it felt a little bit performative. I left her alone so I could cool off. At about 1, I went back to check on her, and she was just laying in bed on her phone. I told her she needed to start getting ready as we had to leave the house by 2 for Christmas dinner. I saw she was watching hamster TikToks, and I told her this was only making her more upset and she needed to get up right now or she was going to make us late and embarrass us. She started shouting at me and said she wasn't coming to Christmas, that I shouldn't expect her to come when her pet had just died, that I was being emotionally unavailable. I said my whole family was expecting to meet her, they bought gifts for her. She said they'd all understand that she was just too upset to deal with everything. She claimed she would make a bad impression if she came because she was too miserable. I told her she was being utterly ridiculous. I know she's sad, but my family aren't going to take a hamster dying as a serious reason to miss the biggest holiday of year. I said she needed to get ready to go and there would be no further discussion. She ended up coming, but we were late. I thought everything went fine. Afterwards, my mother sent me a message saying my girlfriend didn't seem herself, and asking was everything alright. My girlfriend saw the message and lost it at me again, saying this was exactly what she was worried about and now my whole family would hate her. I really am at a loss for what to do at this point. It's been a couple of days now and the fight is not resolved. I really don't think I was in the wrong, but she is extremely hurt and says I am being a psychopath. I took my GF to Christmas dinner with my family after her hamster died the other day. Now she's shitty with me and calling me a psycho.